Alright guys, we just got some awesome news that I did not expect us to get today, let alone this late, but we just got the titles and the synopsis for the back half of Season 9. We already knew Adaptation and Omega, but now we have episode 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And the synopsis gives us a lot of good information, so that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We're going to break it down for you guys and discuss it, but before I do begin, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to subscribe. But other than that, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off with episode 11 because we already had 9 and 10. So episode 11 is now titled Bounty. It looks like it's official because a lot of people are saying this, but the synopsis is: the savage group led by Alpha confronts the hilltop in a harrowing attempt to retrieve her daughter. A supply run for the kingdom turns into a dangerous quest. Alright, so this is what I expected. Episode 11 is when Alpha would come to the hilltop. We saw that in previous trailers when she's walking up to the gates. So this makes sense because before this, she's going to be having to deal with Alden and Luke when she captures them. And then episode 11 is when she's going to go to the hilltop, obviously. Now, the supply run for the kingdom turns into a dangerous quest. Now, we have images. They release some stills of the kingdom, and we see this actual supply run in the still that I'm putting up right now. And the kingdom looks to have their own little story this season because they're getting ready for the fair. So, yeah, they're going to have to do a lot of supply runs and, you know, getting materials. And, you know, it's going to be like a big parade type fair. Like, they need balloons and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be like a fun thing. So, obviously, they're going to have to go on supply runs a lot. And I'm gonna like that a lot because in The Walking Dead, I do like when characters go on supply runs. It just feels very, you know, classic Walking Dead. And, you know, that's what people do in the apocalypse. We don't get to see it that much anymore this far into The Walking Dead. But when we do get to see it, it is nice. Now, turning into a dangerous quest, obviously that means the Whispers. Because the Whispers, and the fact that it's happening in episode 11 means that, you know, obviously the Whispers are going to start learning about the different communities. And they're going to send people to the different communities to check it out. Like Alexandria, Hilltop, and Kingdom, obviously. And then when they find out that the fair is going on in the Kingdom, that's when shit is gonna go down. So they might even have somebody pretend to be a whisperer. I would love to see that, like somebody pretending they're on their own and they, you know, they're a secret whisperer and they give information to Alpha. That way she will figure out about the fair and then she would send her people to the kingdom to, you know, cause some destruction later on in season 9. Alright, moving on to episode 12. It is titled Guardians, and the synopsis now reads: while one community struggles to ease tensions that threaten to divide from within, a true nature of another group comes into focus. A mission to rescue a friend that has deadly consequences. So the community that they're talking about here, when they say struggles to ease tensions, I believe that community is going to be Alexandria, because in the trailer we got way back in November, we have Sadiq and Michonne talking, and Sadiq tells Michonne, like, what do we do if, you know, what does it mean for Alexandria if, like, the kingdom falls or something like that? And then she says it means Alexandria survives. So Alexandria, I think, is having the toughest time dealing with, you know, working together, because the people at the hilltop, they allowed the kingdomers in without any problems. It was Alexandria that they held at the gates and was like, what do you need? So obviously Alexandria is the one community that kind of is, you know, dealing with the most, or like having issues the most out of anybody else. The true nature of another group comes into focus. Now that's very interesting because the true nature of another group, obviously it's not going to be referring to the Whispers. It means like the true nature of a community that we already have. So obviously if it's not the same community as before. So when this is struggles, I'm going to go ahead and guess Alexandria. I could be wrong, so you guys leave your thoughts and opinions. But the true nature of another group that comes into focus, that's hard. I'm thinking Hilltop. I'm really thinking Hilltop because the Hilltop, you know, the kingdom is dealing with the fair. They're getting ready for the fair. So the only other community is the hilltop. And maybe the hilltop does something selfish and, you know, their true colors show. That's the way I kind of see this. I could be wrong, but you guys leave your thoughts and opinions about what you think is going on. If you know what's actually going to happen, like if you read spoilers, please don't comment those. But I'm saying that if you don't know and you want to take a guess, go ahead, please. I'd love to hear any other theories. But anyways, a mission to rescue a friend has deadly consequences. That is obviously obviously Henry, because in the trailer we have Henry going, like, he's on his own in the woods and he runs into Beta, and I cannot wait for that, because Beta and Henry, you know, I mean, Henry is obviously gonna go after Lydia, and then he runs into Beta. It's gonna be like his worst nightmare right there. And Daryl is gonna be the one who's gonna go rescue a friend, and a friend, like I said, I'm pretty sure is Henry, because you know, Henry is close to Carol. Daryl loves Carol. He doesn't want to disappoint, you know, Carol. Obviously, he's gonna go after Henry. Now, they're saying deadly consequences. That's when it gets a bit tricky, because when people say deadly, they usually mean like literally somebody's gonna die. So maybe somebody dies here. Maybe this isn't exactly Daryl. Maybe somebody goes with Daryl, or like a group goes out and looks for him or something. You know, again, I don't think they would send Daryl on his own. Maybe Daryl would go on his own, but altogether leaving the hilltop, maybe there's going to be a group of people and somebody ends up dying. I could see that happening, because I don't think they would use the word deadly if somebody isn't going to die. Moving on to episode 13, that is titled Chokepoint, and the synopsis reads, Daryl's daring rescue mission forces Alpha to unleash a group of her own to retrieve what belongs to her, even if the price is paid in blood. The kingdom's plans to reunite the communities are put in jeopardy. So there you go, we were just talking about Daryl, and the next synopsis tells us that yes, it's Daryl going for that rescue. Now, it says forces Alpha to unleash a group of her own. That's interesting, because obviously, or not obviously, but by the looks of it, it looks like that trade with Lydia and then Alden and Luke, maybe that trade isn't going to go well, and that's going to lead Alpha to, you know, it says here, to go retrieve what belongs to her. So she's obviously going to, you know, send people to go get Lydia. And then going back to the other synopsis, when it says a deadly consequence, maybe a group of people go look for Luke and Alden, and then that ends up in a deadly consequence. Now, Alpha, it says Alpha is going to go retrieve what belongs to her. I'm assuming Lydia, but we know Lydia's gonna escape. So maybe Alpha doesn't know Lydia escaped yet or something. I don't exactly know what is going on here. But we know that trade is not going to go well. We know Lydia's going to escape. We know Henry's going to go after Lydia. But maybe Alpha doesn't know that. And then she would send someone anyways to go get something, you know, go get Lydia. And then they would find out that she's not there. And that would kind of lead them to go from community to community looking for Lydia. I don't exactly know, but that's my guess. You leave your thoughts and opinions about what do you think is going to happen. Alright, episode 14 is titled Scars. And the synopsis reads, an outsider's arrival forces Alexandria to rehash devastating old wounds. Eye-opening secrets from the past are revealed. Alright, so this episode is going to be the flashback episode. Obviously, scars. You know, Michonne and Daryl have scars. Now the thing though is, I'm not sure if the whole episode is gonna be a flashback episode. I have some people saying somebody told me like the whole episode is gonna be a flashback. I don't know for sure about that. Nobody knows 100%. But it says an outsider's arrival forces Alexandria to rehash devastating old wounds. So maybe somebody comes back to Alexandria, and then, you know, like it says, eye-opening secrets from the past are revealed. So somebody's arrival makes them remember what happened to them. And maybe it's not the Whisperers. Maybe it's like a different group that caused these scars. Because there's no way the Whisperers would cause the scars. They didn't even know about the Whisperers. So maybe the group that caused them, they came back and it reopened, you know, old wounds. And the fact that they said an outsider's arrival, not the Whisperers, and in the previous synopsis they said Whisperers and Alpha, and you know, it's not like they're, the way they worded that, outsiders, I don't think it's the Whisperers. I think it's gonna be someone else coming to Alexandria, and then that would remind them about what happened, and we would see that in a flashback form, which I cannot wait. This is one of my most anticipated episodes of the back half, because I just want to know what the hell is going on with these scars. Moving on to episode 15, now we're getting to the big stuff. So episode 15 reads, the Fair of the Kingdom is underway, with all 4 communities coming together in celebration for the first time in years. While some packs are renewed, other deals will come at a much steeper price. Okay, so after reading this, I was like, 4 communities, and then I remembered Oceanside. I completely forgot about Oceanside, because they have not told us anything about Oceanside during the past, you know, 2 months while we were on break. And then also, we didn't even have them in episode 6, 7, or 8. So, yeah, I almost forgot about Oceanside completely for a second there. But yeah, I think they have something big planned for Oceanside. At least I'm assuming, because it's definitely weird how they weren't in episode 14 or episode 6, 7, or 8, that was super, or they weren't even in Rick's final episode, so I can't wait to find out about what happened to them either. So episode 15 is when the fair is gonna go down, and then it says, while some packs are renewed, other deals will come at a much steeper price. So obviously that means some of the communities are gonna you know, get back together and, you know, like each other, some not so much. Because I did notice they said coming together in celebration for the first time in years. So that does kind of show us that during the 6-year time jump after Rick's final episode, they weren't speaking to each other that much, or at least they didn't spend that much time together, which is interesting because 6 years, you know, we didn't even see the 6 years, but that's been longer than the zombie apocalypse before that. So, you know, a lot of stuff could have happened, and it looks like not that many stuff did happen. Alright guys, episode 15 is going to be a big one. The fair is going to be an iconic moment in Walking Dead history. I think even possibly one of the most iconic moments. But that being said, moving on to episode 16, the season finale of season 9. I can't even believe I said those words right now. I'm running out of breath because I'm excited to read this. But the title is The Storm. And the synopsis reads, in the aftermath of an overwhelming loss, the communities must brave a ferocious blizzard. As one group deals with an enemy from within, another is forced to make a life or death decision. Holy shit, that's crazy. That might have been the best synopsis I've ever read, to be quite frank. But come on, guys. Overwhelming loss, they really put that in the synopsis. That basically tells us what's gonna happen at the end of episode 15. I mean, come on, that basically tells us the big moment. I mean, that's crazy, but I mean, we all know it's coming. I'm pretty sure Angela King already confirmed it, but still, now we know it's gonna happen at the end of episode 15, which is just crazy. But it looks like a storm is gonna be happening, and we're gonna get snow in The Walking Dead. Whoo-hoo! I mean, I already talked about this in a video like months ago because somebody took a picture of The Walking Dead filming, and you know, we saw like they were making snow, so that was ruined for me. I wish it wasn't, but I know it's happening. But still, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited for snow in The Walking Dead. I mean, that's the one thing fans have always been asking for, and I can't believe we're actually getting it. I can't wait. But this next part is also crazy. One group deals with an enemy from within, another is forced to make a life or death decision. That is, I mean, I don't even, that's too much for me to process right now. An enemy from within. So is it going to be somebody that we've known for a while and they end up being a bad guy? Like, imagine that kind of twist. That would be fucking nuts. Or is it going to be somebody they meet along the way and then they end up being a whisperer? I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of scared about that enemy from within. So it's not like it's saying like they're having, you know, drama between the communities. Like they're labeling them as an enemy. So obviously they're going to be like, you know, I mean, assuming they're going to try to hurt them or something. I have no clue, but that's kind of terrifying to read. I feel like it's way too early to make predictions about what I think is going to go on in this episode because I haven't even seen episode 9 yet. But obviously they're going to be dealing with, this is going to be a tough episode for them because they just probably lost like a bunch of people to Alpha or the Whisperers, and now the storm is hitting and somebody's obviously going to turn on them. It's going to be a crazy ass finale. It might not be a happy finale. You know, I know the last 2 seasons, season 7 and 8 were both happy finales. Season 6, don't even get me started. But it looks like season 9 isn't going to be that happy of a finale for the characters. But there you guys go. Those are the titles and the synopsis for the back half of season 9. I did not expect us to get this information this late. Hopefully you enjoyed this video on your Saturday night. Leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below because there is a ton to talk about. The mid-season premiere is tomorrow. I cannot wait for that. I will be doing my review of that and then obviously my breakdown and predictions for the next episode. So if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with anything new that comes out in the world of The Walking Dead, as well as, you know, reviews and breakdowns and predictions, all that kind of stuff. So hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.